shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys.
And welcome everybody to PEN. Welcome to PEMA TV.
Welcome to March 1st, 2013. Yay, it's March.
Beware the Ides of March.
I am the Ides of March.
That's no shit. Yeah.
Dig that hole, buddy.
Hey, I got a big old shovel and I'm not afraid to use it. But coming up in March.
March 23rd.
Where is it at?
Waxahachie.
The Waxahachie Civic Center, the Texas Paranormal Unity Fest.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Whatever.
Don't hit me anymore.
March 23rd, Waxahachie, Texas. Waxahachie Civic Center, Paranormal Unity Fest. There are still tickets available. I think she's completely out of vendors' tables and stuff like that. The investigation that night is at the Twisted Toad Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Also in Waxahachie.
Waxahachie, Texas.
And yes, we stress that because down here in Texas they will correct you every single time.
It's not
Waxahachie. It's
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie. Which is
But
I think it's Cherokee for country town.
could be, or railroad stop.
Railroad stop. That's probably closer to it.
But Ken Gerhardt,
David Roundtree, Tracy Ray,
Dakota Lawrence,
and he'll have gallery readings that you can go and purchase tickets for.
there are a ton of people going to be there, including us.
Whoop, whoop.
Unknown Paranormal, Torch Paranormal,
Oh, Lord.
this Paranormal, that Paranormal,
Paranologies.
PEMA, that's us.
Yep.
Yes.
And all for a good cause. All for breast cancer awareness.
And anybody listening who wants to get a hold of Becca or myself, if you would like to donate an item, they're going to be auctioned off by Walt K. from Storage Wars, Texas.
Yep.
And all the funds are going to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Yep. And we actually had the privilege earlier this week of going to a Storage War Texas premiere, because Walt just lives right up the road from us here in East Texas. And he invited us to go there And
After
they did
we
something.
went to the storage wars
Yeah.
that morning.
They actually did something really, really cool there. They auctioned off a picture to help a local animal rescue.
The show poster, and they
Yeah.
actually raised $1,200.
Yeah. Yeah. That was incredible. That showed a whole lot of.
There were probably 40, 50 of us, and a matter of seconds, there was $1,200 bang,
Mm-hmm.
went directly to Texas Star Rescue Foundation.
Yep. They're no-kill shelter. Animal hospice is pretty close to it because they try to get everybody out adopted. We're going to get more involved with them here. So, but our last little bit of news is, and you don't want to miss this, in May
3rd and 4th.
the Laura Catskills Paraton, sponsored by
Me.
yeah and me. I'm there to carry stuff. John Tenney cannot make it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a complete scheduling goof up.
Snafu, yeah.
But John Tenney, bless his heart, felt bad about it, and he is sending autographed books.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 100 people through the door who have
Buy tickets.
paid ticket will get an autographed book by John Tenney.
Yep. And John Tenney's creepy.
But we have Betty Comerford, Steve Wilson, Athena Veronis, Deborah Heinecker, the lovely Mary Gasparo. I'm not partial because she's my host on Mondays, but
No.
that's another story.
Oh.
Jody Cook, Tracy Ray, David
Right.
Roundtree, and who am I missing? Patty Zakis.
Can't forget our crazy Canadian.
We have investigations both nights at the Shanley Hotel. We have one half bed
bed.
available. It's actually not just half a bed, but it's like a day bed
Right.
in the bordello that just came available. Other than that, the only thing we have available are investigator rooms up on the 3rd floor, which means it's an empty room. Bring your own sleeping bag or mattress.
Air mattress.
You can go to penevents.webs.com for your tickets, for booths, for donations for the raffle, for whatever rooms we have left available at the Shanley.
And part of the proceeds from that Archon will be going to Pack Ethics Animal Rescue.
Yes.
So come join us. No, that's the Unity Fest, Dean. That would be the Unity Fest. So
Booths,
Booths.
tables, booths. Not boobs.
although we do like boobs here at PEM.
He does.
I'm just saying. Okay, but tonight
We have a lovely paranormal investigatress
yes, she
Out-
is
out of Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
Not too far from my
a
hometown.
little windy city. Cubs or Sox fan, Laura?
Boy, I'm going to catch hell for this, but definitely a Cubs fan.
She is the case manager for Ghost Head Soup, and according to what I can find, very involved with the Paranormal Kicks Cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Redmond. Hi, Laura.
Hi, guys.
Ooh.
What? You put the wrong name.
Yes, I sure did. And
He gave you the wrong name.
Oh,
You got-
really? What did he give me?
Your name is now Laura Drexler.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Laura's very sweet too, also blind, but she's in Missouri, not
Yeah.
Illinois.
Total brain fart. I apologize.
That's funny. Wow, I see that.
Well, now you're back to you. You looked at me like I was crazy when I said her real name.
I'm like, you got it so wrong. How could you get somebody's name wrong like that? Wow. I apologize. Miss Redmond.
Very nice recovery, Eric.
Oh, well, hey, I do what I can, you know. Why Ghost Head Soup? I have to ask that. I went to the website and it started talking about ingredients floating to the top, and I was I read some of the other stuff. I got past the outer crust of the pot pie that is ghost head soup, and you guys got some really good, cool stuff going on in there. But I was like, because I've seen almost every paranormal website out there, I want to say, and you guys definitely that's in the top 5. I gotta put it up there. I like that.
Awesome. Well, that's, the thing about the soup. They don't want to be anything like your typical black T-shirts, which I happen to have on, cross your arms, strike a pose, tri-state paranormal. They're not about look at me, I want to be famous, and I want you to think we're cool. They really could give a crap what you think about them. Mm-hmm. They just, aside from helping families, they have a good time doing this. And, once this no longer becomes fun, I mean, you know as well as I do, you don't get paid for this.
Right.
So
what?
Keep it fun. Keep it, do things that are not the normal. And they're still very serious guys. They do a lot of experimenting. I was in another paranormal group, and I had a great time. Had great people I worked with, but I needed to be challenged a little bit more, and think outside the box. And these guys definitely do that. They keep me on my toes.
Well, not staying in the box. If you notice, our logo for PEMA isn't exactly the black skulls and crossbones either.
I did notice.
And we don't have the matching black shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And we don't care either. I mean, we're out there to help people and to research and find answers, not try to explain some dust ball floating through a picture.
Yeah, exactly. And, the other team I was on, we'd get a lot of residential cases, a lot. And if I have to be polite here, there's a special kind of other type of people out there that sometimes call on paranormal investigators. Mm-hmm. And, it was just becoming a chore. And these guys, the soup, they've got 2 actual haunted locations at their disposal 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we get to experiment without having to go into somebody's home, without having to throw down $1,000 cash for an insane asylum or a prison.
Right.
And plus there's bathrooms, and so we get to experiment with a lot of different ideas and theories, and we have a great time doing it.
Fortunately, I think most of the larger locations we've been to, if not all of them, well, only one hasn't. They've all had at least some kind of running water in them.
Oh,
so
it's wonderful.
And we've never paid more than $50 a person for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. See, and I'm not a big fan of paying. I mean, with today's economy, the gas prices, of course you do have to pay to do some locations. I'm not saying we don't, but it's just that nice that if, we go, hey, why don't we try that thing we were talking about the other night? We can go there that day and do it.
Right. Well, what I was saying about paying is the most of the locations we go to are hotels or hospitals, mm-hmm. to where you're there the whole weekend, and you can stay there, sleep there. There's electricity, running water, showers, the whole 9 yards. So.
Oh, that's nice.
It's no different than paying for a hotel room, and doing the traveling and then paying $1,000 and still having to get a hotel is ridiculous.
Yeah, yes. and I'm pretty sure you guys probably feel the same way, but I don't personally have a problem paying to go somewhere as long as I know that what I'm paying for goes to the location, and I'm not just lining somebody's wallet somewhere because they got a piece of property in a divorce or somebody passed away and they got it through a will or whatever. I don't want to do that. But if I know somebody that's there and it's going to pay for the taxes to keep them on the historic roll,
Or a new roof.
or a new roof,
fix the
something like that,
plumbing,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. You know, one of the locations, I can't mention what it is because the proprietors of the building don't want it out there as a haunted location, but the other location is an actual 1800s schoolhouse that has been turned into a residence. And there's 5 different floors, and while it's not known publicly as being haunted, it's very, very haunted. And so we're going to start opening that up for a really small fee so people can come in and investigate it. But also, I mean, how many people get to see an 1800s schoolhouse? You know, the old-fashioned one-room schoolhouse. I mean,
Right.
There's been additions to this one, but, you know, there's not enough of these places out there where you can just charge $5, $10, $15, get you in the door.
Right.
So that's something we're going to be doing later on this summer.
That's like our Paracon. A lot of these Paracons, people are asking, you know, $50, $60 a day. You know, $175 will get you all this stuff. Our tickets are $15 on Friday and $20 on Saturday,
That's awesome.
or $40 for both days. I mean,
Yeah.
the economy's so bad, and there are so many of us out there that really just want to be out there and meet other people. So we figured we'd make it really reasonable, and the investigation that night's $25.
See, and that's great. And at these Paracons, you know, you've got other people there trying to sell their books, their T-shirts, whatever, their photos. If people have to pay a big price to get in, they're not going to have a lot of dough left over to spread the love, you know?
Absolutely. But our thing was more about bringing recognition to the Shanley Hotel and making some money for the pack ethics along the way.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, and we've got a very eclectic bunch of speakers, but once again, we're trying to do things a little different.
You don't want the same 12 that are going to be
Yeah,
2 towns over next week and 5 towns over the next week.
yeah. Everybody's seen the twins that make films and the guy that escapes and this person and that person and we wanted to bring in people that not everybody had seen. Perfect example is Vesuvius Investigations. I just want to say this real quick. Athena Veronis was the lady that helped train Jodie Foster, or who her character was fashioned after. She was one of the first female FBI field officers.
Wow.
So she's just as like, it's not her first speaking engagement, but her first convention type speaking engagement. So that's different, you know.
That is different, but it's great.
Yeah, and the only reason I want to mention that is because that's along the lines of what you guys do. From what I can tell from reading the website, like I said, let me temper that because there's parts of that go down a wormhole, and I didn't want to get lost over there. But you know, you guys do things in a very distinct way. You know, you're doing investigations, but you also question everything, and I love that because that means you're free thinkers, and I can't applaud that enough.
Well, thank you. And, you know, sometimes there's some arguments that go along with that you don't see. But it's great to have all these personalities where everybody kind of has their little niche and questions things because, you know, people are like, oh, my God, that was paranormal. You know, you got to, well, we feel like we need to ask questions and just double check and triple check.
Right.
Well, that's how it should be. I mean, if you're going to go in and snap pictures and go, oh, look what I got, without checking it or checking to see where that noise came from or anything else, then
absolutely,
you know, you can go sit in a gas station and do that.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see the coloring pages? Were the coloring book pages?
Yeah, I did. That was part of the wormhole thing comment I made a minute. There's parts of the website that they kind of tangent off a little bit.
Well, you know, these guys like to be silly, and so you know it's something for the kids. And
Is
you
it?
know,
Because I could barely stand the lines, but I got them done.
oh, really good for you.
He went out of the lines.
You know, some of the other things these guys do is they make these recipes, I don't know if you saw any of their videos. They've got a YouTube channel, and actually they did a parody on Paranormal State. And Chad Kalick and Ryan Buell actually saw it. Ryan posted it on his Facebook, and Chad commented on the YouTube channel about it. And these guys just winged it and, did a parody on them.
Right.
So they like to goof around and have fun. That goes back to what I was saying. Once it's no longer fun,
Why
nobody
do it?
wants to play.
That's right.
Well, you have to have fun. I mean, when it comes down to the actual investigation, okay, let's get serious, let's do this. But when you're on bricks and stuff, you need that stress reliever,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys have never hooked up with Scott Grunwald, have you? Because I think that could be a dangerous combination.
You're not even kidding. I don't even know if they know who Scott is. I know Scott. I have a Paramore shirt. That would be. Oh, I'm going to work on that.
That's almost combustible.
Yeah, it would be great, wouldn't it? Oh my God.
Yeah. And see, Scott's my T-shirt buddies. Me and Scott, we did 2 different shows at 2 different times of the year, and both times we were both on video, both wearing the same shirt from Walmart.
Well,
How
actually,
fun.
I think at last count you two had like 5 shirts
It's
exactly
the
alike.
same,
Yeah.
different sizes, because I do have more magnitude than he does.
More magnitude.
Yeah, I don't have a belly button. That's my awesome hole. That's where they pumped in all the awesome when I was born.
OMG.
Welcome to my world. Now you know why I post some of the things I do.
Well, that's kind of how I feel with my supers. I'm the only girl, and I haven't been on the team that long, and I'm really considered their handler. That's what they call me. Their handler.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
Well, someone's got to keep them in line.
Yeah.
exactly. And so I get the same kind of thing with these guys all being men from time to time. But it's all good. I have a great time.
I completely feel your pain. When we were in St. Louis, my team consisted of me and 4 guys all over 6'2" and all over 275 pounds.
Oh, Lordy.
She didn't look like we had a paranormal team. We looked like we had half the starting line for the Rams.
Oh, my gosh. How funny.
So, and she picks them. She just doesn't pick them small. If you guys up there, is there a lot of activity in and around Chicago, or are you guys traveling in a big circle in Illinois, or?
There is a lot of activity, I believe, everywhere, but Chicago has such a rich history, not only because of, your famous stuff like your gangsters and your ships sinking, fires. Illinois had a ton of Native Americans, so we've got Indian burial mounds all over the place. We do travel everywhere. I mean, we go into Wisconsin. We've gone down to central Illinois and out as far as Missouri, and Indiana. So, yeah, wherever your clients are, you try to accommodate them. And then for different events and functions, we'll travel around.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, the obvious is to go, investigate at Wrigley Field because there have been so many seasons that have died there.
Ooh.
But I mean, that's an obvious. That's a given.
Oh my God.
And she's from St. Louis, and we're both Cards fans, so that'll give you some idea where this is coming from.
I'm not even a baseball fan, to tell you the truth.
And I'm sorry. I'll stop picking on Chicago, and I'll stop picking on the Cubs. It's too easy. How?
Just throw rocks at them later. I'll give you the rocks.
Thank you.
Could you let our viewers know about some of the experiments these guys are doing?
Oh boy, I'm not privy to a lot of them because I haven't been on the team that long. But the latest one they did was steering into a candle flame. And Dean, help me out here. Who was the bass? Shoeless Joe Jackson did this before he'd go out and pitch. Is that correct? And so they did some investigating where they stared at this candle. I was not there for this. And then looked around to see how their eyes changed, right? What else did you guys do? Is that just it, or did you do EVPs at the same time?
Well, we always have the recorder.
Oh, you always have the recorders going, okay.
Yeah, we just saw the same lights in the room.
All right.
So kind of heightened our stuff.
Heighten their sight, okay. That's the latest one. They also have experimented with a Ouija board, which I know a lot of teens are like, oh no, don't touch the Ouija board. You know what? Just like ghost hunting, you got to do it safely.
Right.
What are some other experiments? What's another interesting one?
The big one is the new machine.
And I don't know anything about the new machine. Sorry, I need to look at the website more. Oops.
Aren't you supposed to fill her in, Dean?
Yeah.
She's our handler.
Does that mean she just holds the bail money?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
go talk louder and tell them about this machine. Because you want to pop in?
Sure.
Dean's going to pop on camera here.
Show your face, Dean.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes.
Hi, Dean.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Well, basically, Ghost Head Soup, we're working on a new machine. We know out there that there's the Class A, Class B, Class C, and there's also Class R EVP, and that's the reverse. What we're finding is a lot of our EVPs, our voice capturing stuff is coming into us in reverse. You can check it out on the website. There's one that actually says, reckless spirituals are funny backwards. So to do that, we wanted a real-time feel of this thing. So basically, George took some old guitar parts and amp parts and microphones, and he basically made a machine where when we speak into the microphone, it comes out reverse. And then there's another microphone in another room that the spirit would speak into to us, and it's automatically reversed into a real-time voice capture. So we would instantly have that connection with the spirit, and we could hear it in our head.
I'd have never gotten that across to you guys. Isn't that awesome? That kind of thinking.
That is very cool.
Well, and I would see that coming from George, because anybody that does an interviews spot called the G spot, you got to give him kudos.
Absolutely. You know, they did a G spot with me, and there were 2 cameras rolling. Thank God they lost the footage of the other camera, because it was typical boys doing the TNA shots, you know.
Well,
not that there's anything wrong with that, but they have a lot of fun. Yeah, George is not shy.
but at least they're not. But at least they're predictable. You know, you know what to expect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when a group of them get together.
Yeah, well, there is that. But with the reverse with the reverse stuff, have you guys? I've never found anything in any of ours. Now, I've never taken any of our full-length tracks and flipped them and gone back and listened to them. I've taken bits and pieces, but I've never personally found anything. What inspired that? Just the ability to try it, or the thought to try it?
For me, basically, we were at a house in a suburban town outside about 60 miles west of Chicago, and I was just recording a conversation that the client, myself, and another investigator was there, and we were just talking, and it was actually a cigarette break, and I was telling a story about how my truck died in a cemetery, and I had to come out and get a tow truck and pull my truck out of the cemetery, and so she was asking questions about dark spirits and stuff of that nature, and I was telling this funny story. And when I listened to the audio back, I heard this thing that wasn't any of us, and it didn't make sense to me. So for like an hour and a half, I'm sitting there trying to figure out, straining my ears, trying to figure out what it means. So then I came across the Class R. I'm like, let me reverse this thing. And the first time I reversed it, to me, it sounded like reckless, spirituals are funny. And I kind of displayed what we were doing, basically. I'm reckless. I don't go in and bless myself or protect myself or anything of that nature. Spiritualist, I am there to communicate with the dead, and I guess I was telling a funny story, so I appreciate that the spirits thought I was funny.
Right.
And to get that response in reverse, just the fact that it enunciates all the words and syllables and stuff of that nature just kind of floored me, because I'm one of the bigger skeptics of the group, and to have that happen to me, I still question it, because it, it could be me talking in reverse, but you never know. You got to keep thinking.
Right.
But it's just that's kind of where it started, and that's we have to go back and look at the ones that we questioned before and reverse them. We've had one where we kind of think there might be a hierarchy on the other side too, where same here, we have people who take care of us, but there was one at the Stratford Inn in Sycamore. And we had a man's voice say, leave him alone or something like that. And then there was a response, and we reversed the response, and it was a yes to that question. So it was kind of like maybe they have a spirit servant or something of that nature. So we're kind of looking more into all our past questionable stuff and kind of reversing it. So I strongly encourage you to do that if you have some questionable stuff. Even the ones that are EVPs, you can actually reverse it and get a different negative feel to it. So,
yeah. Well, spiritualists are at the turn of the century. That's what a ghost hunter would have been called.
Exactly.
So it'd be very curious to know if the location you were at, if the supposed activity was from somebody that could have passed it in that time frame.
Yeah, it's an interesting location. It was at the crossroads. There's a cemetery across the street. The house goes back 100+ years, and there's been about half that amount of people living in that home. So that's got to tell you something.
Wow. But I bet you guys run into a lot around the Chicago area, I would think.
Well, there are a lot of different groups out here that also do the homes. Like Laura was saying earlier, we do have our own location. So when we have the opportunity to say, hey, I thought of another idea, let's try this, we have instant means to do so. So it actually makes it pretty easy.
But there are a lot of other haunted places. I mean, I was looking at a place for PKC last year, and it's a minor league ball field. When they found out, you mentioned the word paranormal, if they're not scared, they want to talk to you. That place was haunted. And they started telling me stories about the ballpark, and that ballpark's not that old. Maybe 10 years old. So,
but the land, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because we grew up hanging out at the Cherokee Mounds.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Coquia Mounds. I'm sorry, Coquia Mounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Indian mounds are everywhere in that area. So.
Yeah, and I know we had a question fly by in the chat room earlier that wanted to know if you guys have been to any of Dillinger's haunts or locations there in the Chicago area.
I have not. I know there's a jail about 2 hours from here in Indiana that he escaped from. Mm-hmm. I was really sick and couldn't go on that opportunity. And that was just recent, like maybe a month ago. But I haven't been to any of those places that he's been. We've got a lot of gangster places. Some you go into them and you didn't even know that they used to hang out there. I don't really do that though. I don't know. I've been hanging out with dead people since I was a little girl, so I don't really care if they're famous, and I don't go looking for that. I mean, I'm sure I've gone to where Al Capone's buried. The Giancana crypt is there as well, and I got nothing investigating out there. But it's not something I go and say, hey, I want to do this. I just go with the flow wherever I'm at,
I think the only one we actually searched out was the priest from The Exorcist.
Oh.
The priest who had performed the original exorcism that the book was based off of, is buried at Calvary Cemetery in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So his particular stone we did hunt out. but we'd already been there a couple times. We knew basically where it was. It was just a matter of finding exactly where he was.
Yeah, because Calvary is actually the oldest one west of the Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
It's the oldest, and it's huge, and it's actually been split in half by a road. For some reason, the city deemed it necessary to put a road through the middle of it. But it's 12 acres on one side and 12 acres on the other, and that in the middle of a suburban area, that's a huge plot of land.
That's huge.
And
There-
the stonework there. I've got a video that I made for her a couple years ago. That was the stonework is just amazing in that place.
Well, the logo that I use on
Yeah,
is a monument out of Calvary Cemetery.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But that's where all the lumps are buried. All the who is it? William Tecumseh Sherman, who burnt down Atlanta. Tennessee Williams, the priest. Dred Scott was originally buried there, and then they moved him to be with his wife.
Okay. Well, see, when you've got places like that close to you, why not? There's a local author here. His name is Dane Ladwig. He just published a book called Piercing. Oh, Dane, tell me the
Piercing
name.
the Veil.
Piercing the Veil
Okay.
of Death. And
Paranormal encounter.
Paranormal Encounter. Piercing the Veils of Death, a Paranormal Encounter. And Ghost Head Soup is in chapter 13 of it. The nice thing is these local authors, they write about the land being haunted and these groups going to them and what kind of research has been done. So if we stumble upon somebody famous, that's kind of fun. But, like you're saying, these Indian mounds, burial mounds are everywhere. It's just, there's a lot of haunted locations. And I was in Mid-South last year, and there was this big cemetery there in Kentucky, like you were just talking about. Huge.
Which I
What was it called?
Cave Hill.
Cave Hill. Kentucky, Colonel Sanders is buried there.
Ah.
That's the only famous one I know. But, if you ever get down where Mid-South is, check out Cave Hill, because it's gorgeous.
Big bucket on top of his headstone, or
No, but people do have picnics by his grave.
People do have picnics at his grave.
but he would appreciate that.
Mhm.
That would be like Dave
You know.
Wilson from the Wendy's.
Yeah.
He'd be all about it.
As long as it's his restaurant's food, don't be
Well-
bringing your own bologna sandwich.
Right. Don't be bringing no McDonald's to Dave's Stone. That's wrong.
Exactly.
Have you guys been to some of the forts over there, like Fort Charter and Prairie du Roche?
That doesn't ring a bell with me. I don't even know where that's at.
It's closer to Belleville,
Oh, Indiana?
Illinois, southern Illinois, or across
well, actually,
Central.
It's central east.
We can drive 6 hours and still be in Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois is a huge state. No, we have not done any of those places.
The fort was one of our first ones.
Yeah.
And that's probably the creepiest EVP that I personally.
Yeah.
We were over there, and they set it up to where Boy Scouts can go in there at night and everything else. Well, we just drove by there and the gates were open.
Nice.
It's like, okay. And we were in there, and Eric and another one were up in the guard tower, and I'm standing in this little corner with these windows. And they're not glass, it's like where the cannons or guns used to fire out of.
Right.
And I kept having this whole moment to where I kept waiting for a face to pop into one of these windows. So I backed myself into a corner, and I'm standing there, and I'm waiting for these two to come back down. And we actually got an EVP of two voices. One says, "Do it." The other one says, "Shh."
Wow.
And it's like, oh, that's not right. Because I was waiting for something to happen right there.
How funny. They knew that.
And then to get that EVP, it's like, go ahead, poker. No, shit, hush.
So,
We have some insane asylums around here that are pretty incredible to investigate in. No longer being used, of course. I've gotten some excellent EVPs at them. Those are a lot of fun. You know, there's just so many places you can go. And, you know, the biggest part, well, as you know, is the winter. I mean, it's hard to get out in the cold. I'm a California girl. I don't like the cold. And so during the winter, I'll spend more time going over audio I should have done a long time ago, or researching, whatever, you know. But,
Right, or praying for the inside home family type things to where you know there's heat.
Exactly.
Or that investigation at the still operational foundry where there's melted metal and everything all around them.
Yeah, the vacant forts and cemeteries aren't much fun in the Midwest in the
No,
winter,
oh, no.
and we know.
Yeah.
I personally have a preference of I like to have a bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, that's just, I can't. I'm not 20 years old anymore. That time has come and gone, you know, so.
I think our worst one was our very first investigation, and the closest bathroom was at a gas station 5 miles up the road.
Yeah, I've done that. I won't do that anymore.
That was miserable. But we've done a few over in Illinois. Mineral Springs in Alton.
Yep, heard that.
Love that one. And we did Fox River Bed and Breakfast.
Oh, okay,
That's
sure.
close to us.
Yeah, that's in our neighborhood.
That one was pretty cool. It's got a good history to it. Apparently the caves right there are where Al Capone and his men used to hide the bootleg.
Yeah, there's a lot of Al Capone locations.
But in that field directly across right in front of where the bed and breakfast is where Charles Lindbergh's mail plane crashed.
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, it's not only the gangsters, but you've also got other American history in there.
Absolutely. And then there was a famous plane crash in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, which is right here, a Chicago suburb. And there's a trailer park on the site now. And there are what are believed to be residual hauntings there. You know, a man will walk by smelling like fuel, and he'll ask you where the payphone is. You turn around and he's gone. People get knocks on their doors. They open them up in the middle of the night, and there's nobody there. So, you know, tragedies are going to leave some kind of evidence behind.
Well, and quite frankly, between Illinois and Missouri is also the path they took to go west.
Yep.
So, on either side of the river right there,
Yep, absolutely.
all the way back to the beginning of America, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because that's also the widest part of the Mississippi, so...
that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when I hear people complaining, oh, I want to go on a ghost hunt, go. I mean, the locations are just endless.
They
You know,
are.
I have a couple places I would like to go that are on my bucket list. I'd love to do Alcatraz. I wouldn't mind going to Sloss Furnace. But if I get there, I get there. I'm certainly not going to, you know, make it my life's mission by no means.
Mine's Trans-Allegheny, but...
I want to go to the catacombs underneath Belfast. If I'm going to dream big.
Well, if I'm going to dream big, then it's the castles in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
But we've already got an invite, which it's just getting there.
Yeah, and there's dead people everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I believe that.
Did the guys when they formed Ghost Head Soup? God, I love that name. That's great. Because I just get this vision of like a skull bobbing to the top of a boiling pot of water. Anyway.
Between the carrots and the onions?
Yeah, between the carrots and the onions and the taters and everything in there. Yes, I said tater.
He's
Right.
from Texas. I'm not.
When the guys formed, what was the primary driving motivation for them to form? Were they all independently working other places or researching other places and they came together?
No, actually, I believe a couple of them were in with another group, And there were just some differences and different ways of people wanting to, different directions they wanted to go. And Dean, do you want to answer this one so I don't screw it up? Because they formed this group without me.
Hi again.
Sorry.
He's so cute. His face turns red every time he gets on the camera.
That's natural. But no, I was over there chatting all late. But basically, Ghost Head Soup started. We're 5 lead investigators from two different paranormal groups, and there was some instances where some of the other groups wanted more of that look at me that Laura had mentioned earlier. Kind of not diving into the research that we really wanted to do.
Right.
So when the 5 of us got together, it just clicked all the time. So we just kind of formed Ghost Head Soup. Ghost Head Soup, basically, I love the image you gave with the skull coming up to
That's
the top.
awesome.
But it's basically off the old Stone Soup story, where 2 guys would go into a town and no one would give them food. So they started boiling water and just throwing rocks in the pot and saying, the town folks started questioning it and says, "What are you doing?" Well, we're throwing magic stones into this pot, and eventually they would bring their ingredients, and eventually they would have a nice soup with all the helpings. So.
And, we're about sharing ideas, networking, not just, this is my territory, you guys can't come over here. No. Bring it on. You want to try an experiment? We just put it on the website. Have at it. You have something you'd like us to try? We'll be glad to do it. And it's just, everybody wants to gain the same kind of knowledge. I don't want to be on Paranormal Challenge, I don't want to be on my ghost story with my orb pick.
Please tell me you don't have a banner for your group that says "as seen on YouTube."
No, we do not.
Okay, yeah, because believe it or not, people are actually putting that on banners now. As seen on YouTube.
As seen on YouTube?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on, let me write this one down.
Oh, wow.
Well, see what?
Wait. We've got a better idea. You've been on our show, so now you instead of as seen on YouTube, it's as seen on PEN.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
See, we'll do that one.
I just wanted to say it's just refreshing to see people that are free thinking, because a lot of groups out there now, bless their hearts, they mean well, and they may be doing the proper protocols and procedures when they're documenting, but they're basically just they're monkey see monkey do with what's on TV.
Yeah, and like you said, God bless them. There's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't working for me and for them. And
Well, they're repeating, and kind of sorry about it, but like you said earlier, that you looked at all different websites, and I appreciate the comment you made about making ours one of the top 5. And I kind of did that early on too, is went out, researched the different websites to see who's doing what, and then when's the last update, when do they put new information on it. And in my research, I discovered that there's scientists and people that would record voices for 30 years, and it really hasn't advanced them, and they're still trying to question what they did 30 years ago. We want to think outside the box and come up with the new machine where we can actually reverse it firsthand, or just try everything and anything. We'll try 2 soup cans together in a string to see what that would just. Something like that. Just keep thinking and thinking and thinking instead of nailing your foot down and just spinning in circles.
Yeah, or can you knock here, please? Or please,
give us a sign of your presence.
Yeah, and then we'll go. Oh, but can you do it again? I didn't hear you. Can you do it again?
And then they hear the knock and they're like, "Oh my God!"
See, we do have a piece of board with a knocker on it, so they can actually. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
But thank you.
That's the new machine.
Yeah. That's the knock machine.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying when they're like,
Yeah.
Thank you for looking
knock
at the
again.
website.
I'm sorry, if you won't go into a location, you say, if you don't want us here, knock, and you hear a knock, get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's just refreshing because it showed some thought, it showed some effort, and it didn't have some cutesy little ghost picture on it, and it didn't have spooky, eerie, non, yeah,
Or the Ghostbuster theme.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna
Yeah.
call? Not you. Real quick, But it's like I said with you guys, it's different. It's refreshing. It's a new way of looking at things. And then, like I said, you have to admit it's a little cutie. It's kind of cutesy. But once you get past that and you start reading like the investigations and you start reading about the experiments that are listed there, once you kind of get into it, it's like wow.
Don't listen to him. He was playing with the coloring pages.
And then of course that's
How
just
about
bonus.
Is there George Zilla on there?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't looked in a while.
Well, see, and that's once again that's why putting them with Scott would be dangerous, because a lot of people look at Scott and they think like paranormal jackass. They think paranormal, jokester. But when you listen to what Scott Grunwald has to say, he has some very deep, very profound, very enlightened thoughts.
I agree.
Right before he burns his chest
Yeah, right
hair.
before he burns his chest hair. But if you listen,
Exactly. I love Scott.
but like I said, it's just we love free thinkers here. That's our whole thing with PEN, is we just want to make people think.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you having me on here and spreading the ghost head soup love a little bit. It's a different concept. We're not a cookie cutter group, and we appreciate somebody looking at us and going, wow, that's cool, that's interesting. Not like, wait a minute, you don't all have skulls and crossbones on your T-shirts and your arms crossed and your, big brick building behind you, and,
I think there was one picture on the website where they were doing the Beatles Abbey Road thing. That's about as close as they got, I think.
Is there one on there with that?
Yeah.
Oh boy, they're big Beatles fans, so
there's a hidden meaning behind all that.
I didn't see who was wearing shoes and whatnot, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and instead of the black shirts and the crossing of arms, usually all my pictures have my tongue sticking out at someone.
Yeah.
See, that's perfect.
Usually me.
Well, what do you say, the Beatles? It's the whole. You remember the Beatles had the Paul is dead type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So we're saying that George is actually dead.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the Beatles reference comes in.
Right.
I still have a lot to learn, as you can tell.
You will learn. You'll learn, young Obi-Wan. You will learn.
And for all the viewers tonight, we're taking up a collection for choke chains for her to use on her group.
And I have to ask you, is George as nuts as he looks like on the website?
Oh yeah, George, I love him. But that man, he is a deep thinker. He has a million ideas flowing. He's hilarious. He's Santa Claus. I mean,
So he's disturbed like the rest of us.
Well, yeah, you
Okay.
have to be.
Okay. Disturbed is the new normal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is in our world.
We definitely put the fun in dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Hey, if I could just do one little quick shout out. We
Shout.
just investigated the Tinker Swiss Cottage in Rockford, Illinois, and that was featured on Ghost Hunters. And
In October of last year.
October of 2012, Mark was actually on the episode, so that was kind of cool. But we just did that place last Friday, or the Friday before, whatever. But we got some great evidence out of it.
Great disembodied.
Disembodied voices and visuals, and yeah. So that's a really cool place. Rockford, Illinois. If you ever get out this way, you guys.
If you care enough.
We'd have to get back north.
Yeah, we're down in Texas.
Oh, you're down in Texas now. Okay. So Eric, you say taters.
I say taters, and I say yes, ma'am.
Wow. Okay.
And he says y'all.
Y'all. I'll throw a
That-
y'all in there every now and then
It's you guys.
instead of a use guys.
We don't say use. There is no S on the end of you.
In Chicago, they do. I'm telling you, they talk like this. Juice guys. They do talk funny. I'm sorry, they have an accent here, too. And I try very hard not to have it because I don't want it.
She has it.
No, I don't.
And in St. Louis, they throw a capital R into everything.
So we wash our clothes.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Wash.
So there's dialect differences all over the place. And the first time I went to New York State, I heard some people talking, and I couldn't understand a word they were saying.
Oh, in Jersey, I have a hard time with that accent.
You know, I've never really like had to talk to Snooki. So, you know, I'm not that I wouldn't talk to Snooki. I don't think I'm any better than Snooki.
Well,
I've
do.
got a better awesome hole. I've got one of the greatest awesome holes ever.
yes. He decided yesterday that he does not own a belly button.
I don't have a belly button.
That is where, when he was born, they filled him full of awesomeness.
That's where they pumped in the awesome.
So that's his awesome hole.
Oh my God. Well, that's like on your car. You got a gas hole, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yes.
gas hole.
And on the front end, there's a water hole. Hey, Laura, I'm right here. I got you. I see it. I understand.
So technically, what's coming out the back is the tail hole?
That's the tail. And see, you guys are getting it.
Uh-huh.
Funny.
This is why we don't let you go outside to play.
Oh, I know. And that in the court order.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any major long-term goals for Ghost Head Soup that you want everybody to know about?
Well, yeah, we want to be rich and famous and have our own television show. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
you won't get rich and famous with a television show, but go ahead.
They have the Black Suburban Syndrome.
Yeah, the BSS. Help us stop BSS.
Exactly. And I don't know if there's any long-term goals other than to come up with, see if some of these new experiments and ideas actually produce results. And have a good time and help anybody we can help along the way. I mean, we do residentials and helping families. When you hear somebody say to you, "Oh my God, you saved me. I thought I was crazy. Thank you so much for giving me my sanity back." To me, that's my goal. I've done that. Awesome. Because when I had my stuff going on as a kid, there was nobody there for me.
Right.
And so, personally, that's what I like to do. Did I say it well enough about the group?
Well, I mean, you were in another group before you came to us, so I mean, what are your aspirations in this?
To have you guys help me think outside the box more. I don't want to be just the girl using the millimeter. I want to learn the scientific stuff. I'm not processed to think that way. I'm the mom. I'm the den mother,
She wants
But
to be filled in on what you're actually doing without having to ask you to get on camera and tell us.
Mm-hmm.
See?
So anyway, and then, besides helping people, having a lot of fun and meeting new friends and, having a good time. It keeps us out of the bars. Well, not really, but,
Hey, if there's an investigation in a bar, game on.
Absolutely.
So do you guys have any events or anything you plan on attending this year?
I think we're going to try to hit up Mid-South. We'll be putting together a Paranormal Kicks Cancer benefit later on this year. We've got several states doing that. What is first? Oh, that's right. There's a ghost conference coming up in October in Chicago that will be, I think it's called Chicago Ghost Conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And John Zappis will be there, and Chris Fleming, Josh Gates. So we're going to be having a table there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then whatever little ones we hit up along the way.
Very cool. We got 4 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doing, you guys know, hosting an event is so much work. And, oops, did I just hang up on him?
No.
Oh, okay. I hit something I shouldn't have hit. It takes up so much time to put these events together, and then, with the weather being fit in it, what's the word?
Up and down.
Yeah, up and down.
Persnickety.
Yeah, something. That keeps me pretty busy. So if I get to the time to go to an event, I go. That's just kind of how we all do it. play it by ear. Plan one or two, wing the rest.
That's right. I would agree.
We're throwing one. The other three aren't ours, but we'll be there.
Yep.
I wish you guys luck with that.
We'll need it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. At least so far for us, I think I can, or for me, I'll let Kim speak for herself.
Hey, I was just
It's-
thrilled when things started selling out. Going, yay!
Yeah, I mean, it's so far it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's proved rewarding so far for us anyway.
Well, that's good. Then that makes it all worth it, you know.
Yeah, it's not I got to do that again. Yeah, no, we're having a good time with it, and like I said, the crowd we've got coming, we can't wait. I just ain't covering the bar tab for this group, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't blame you there.
Yeah,
No.
That's not okay. But fortunately, we have enough of them to where, while I'm working on mine, if my brain starts melting, I can go over to Becca, who is having the Texas Paranormal Unity Fest, and go, hey, you need some help with this? Yeah, we need donations. Okay, I'm on that. So I can spend a couple hours over there, and it's not mine, so I'm not as stressed, but whatever I bring in helps her.
Oh, that's great.
And then she's
Yeah, getting the
helping us.
donations is kind of tough. I know.
Yeah.
Last year when I was at Mid-South, anybody I asked very generously donated things to be raffled off. So that was really nice instead of doing the, emailing but it's all worth it. It goes for, the money I raise goes for the local cancer chapter of whatever town I'm in. So it stays right there and goes for wigs for any women that want wigs, rides to and from treatments, medication pickups for the pharmacy visits, that kind of thing. So that's what we do with it. And my mom's a cancer survivor and just lost another auntie to cancer, so it's kind of a big deal for me.
Yeah.
That I feel like I can give back a little bit.
Yeah, PKC is a great organization.
We're trying to grow and expand.
Well, we've got a fundraiser button thing going on Facebook right now. One of our other show hosts, her boyfriend's niece is 6 years old. They found out she had a brain tumor. Her parents both took off medical leave to be able to be with her and keep her comforted, and they just told them that she went into stage 4, and the insurance just dropped her.
Yeah.
Oh,
How can that be legal? See, don't get me started.
Welcome to Obamacare.
I don't know, but this is a 6-year-old child. I mean,
Right.
They'd be like me.
not that a 30-year-old doesn't deserve it the same treatment. I'm just saying, this little girl.
Yeah.
Her
It's
life is just
heartbreaking.
starting out.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Laura, Mrs. Redmond. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
You too,
Thanks.
Dean.
Yeah, Dean. Ba-doom-tis.
Thanks, guys. I had a blast. Thank you so much for having us on, and good luck to you both with your events.
Oh,
Thank you
too.
so much. And do you want to go ahead and put out your website? So
Oh, sure. Type it in the chat room. It's ghostheadsoup.com. Stop on by, say hello. We also have a Facebook group page, Ghost Head Soup, and there's a like page too if you want to be kept up to date on what we're doing.
And they are going to add you to the cartoon, right?
God, I hope not.
Well, as long as they don't say you're the dragon going around the GHS, you ought to be okay.
Yeah.
There you go. She adds color to it.
That's funny.
God.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much. Have
Laura.
a great weekend.
You too.
You too. And be safe out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And guys, that's it for us.
Next Monday, we have the lovely
Vivacious.
Debbie Branning,
Yes.
who we've been told by numerous viewers is a wonderful storyteller, and she really is. She's got the best stories.
Tim Maley will be on Monday nights after you guys went off the wall.
Who?
Tim Maley.
Oh,
No relation to
John.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday I will have Miss Jody Parks from the Paranormal Hot Squad will be on.
And Friday we have.
Andrea Dean Van Scoy.
So we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Be sure and check the Facebooks. Keep something
Yep.
live every night. Something crazy.
Go
all
help.
kinds of stuff.
3 things. Go help Caitlin. If you can give. Jalen. Go help Jalen. If you can give. Look on either my page, Eric Reisinger on Facebook, or PEMA Encounters. You'll see the links to it. Please go help if you can.
If you can't, send prayers. Send
prayers.
healing. Send, a little wish, something. This little girl needs.
Everything she can get. She deserves everything we can give her, too.
Yeah, they've only given her 6 to 24 months.
Yeah,
Let's make it worth it.
Texas Paranormal Unity Fest. Get your tickets. And lure Catskills Paraton. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now.